Remember this bad boy, the Red Del Sol? It's been standing here through the winter because it was kind of too cold to paint, which meant we would have got an orange peel or something, which wouldn't have been great. But it has already been primed, like, I don't know, in November or something. So we have to clean it up a little bit and then mask tape everything, and then we can give it a quick red paint, and then it should be done. As you can see, it's a hidden Del Sol now with a whole bunch of stuff. We still have to cover this part though, but my phone is running out of battery, so I'm gonna quickly record this. First coat of paint, and yeah, now you can really clearly see the two dents that are in it, but like they're small dents. The rest of the car is already kind of this colored. I don't think that is gonna be a big point of contention when someone's trying to buy it. You can sort of see it on the camera. These are two separate colors. This is a different color than this. You can mostly see it because this is just more shiny. And yeah, like here you can see the transition. I mean, if we go, yeah, see, you can, if I go like this and it doesn't shine in your face, you can see it pretty well. And yeah, these are, this is just a transition. I literally only covered up the like gray part for now. And then I'm gonna do another coat. Well, this is already dry, as you can probably tell from the fact that I'm touching it all the time. And now we're gonna do another coat over the top that is gonna go all the way up to here and like cover the rest of this as well. The coat is on, and you can see it's a lot more shiny everywhere. Even up here, it's still shiny, 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 shiny. But that's because it's wet. We're gonna let it dry now and see how it is. I don't know. There's two dents, like whatever. Like, have you seen the hood? We're just gonna ignore this bad boy, but like it's different colors as well. I could paint the hood, but the paint is expensive, and the bigger the surface, the larger chance that we get sunny shenanigans. Cause yeah, that went great. So that we can see it in the sunlight, and it's actually looking real good here. However, there are some parts like around this corner that is not 100%. You can still see some black here, and also underneath here it is a little bit broken, so we're going to put an extra little bit of glass fiber so that's a little bit more solid, and then we're going to give it one last coating of spray and then just a clear cover. Well, there you can see it's quite decent, not counting those dents. And if you look over here, there's a little bit of a scratch. I think it will go away if we polish it, but I don't know. So here we are, clear coat's gone on, and actually what is quite nice is that line I was concerned about that was around here somewhere is gone. I can't really see. I think this can't really see. Oh, it's gone. It's I don't know where it went, but yeah, it's not, okay. Still the dents. Clear coat's not gonna stop the dents, but it's gone. However, I am going to do one last clear coat over the top, and then this side will be done. It just needs to be polished up and like cleaned a little bit. And after that, we shall move over to this side. I think I will just paint the entire panel just like on that side, because this panel is not the nicest. Like, I don't know what they did here. They tried to repaint this and they just did a really bad job of it. And also down here they did weird shit, so we're just gonna sand up this panel and paint all of it, because oh well. Well, as you can see, here is the finished paint job, and it's looking all nice and shiny. It'll look even more shiny when we polish and wax it. And now we're just gonna remove all of this tape and stuff. Here we are. It's the tape has all been removed. As you can see, the paint is not 100% the same color, but that's because this hasn't been sanded or polished yet or waxed, and this has. And that's why this is a little bit more shiny. Also, this is a little bit more pinkish because that's what happens to Milano red. And here it looks pretty good. You can't really see the transition because we've put it in this seam. So if you look real careful, you can. But like if you're just looking at the car generally, you can't really. here you can see the transition, but there's going to be a plastic piece here, so that's going to all be fine. As you can see, we are now giving it a wet sand with some soapy water and some fine sandpaper. Try and get it nice and smooth, and it's already feeling a lot smoother than it used to be. It still needs a little bit more sanding, and after this some polishing, and then it will be properly smooth and shiny. You can see we also waxed it. However, during the sanding some parts went wrong, and you can see it's chipped off down here and here and down there, and some other places as well, like here on this edge. And we shall have to go over it with a little paint marker or something, but for now we're just going to wax it and then remove the wax and see how it looks. So here it is, waxed and everything, and I don't know, I think I can't really get the wax off. Okay, you can't really see it, but there's lines in it and it's not pretty smooth. And if I do this, you can see, like, I don't know if that's like normal or not. It's not as great as I had hoped. It looked really nice before, and then I think we kind of fucked it up with the sanding. We should have maybe just done the polish, but we can test that on the other side. It's already so much better than the Sunny. I don't know if you remember the Sunny. The Sunny was a disaster as soon as we tried to paint anything larger than a very small square panel. So this is already so much better, and I'm so much happier with it. But that's just because this is not a weird metallic paint color that the Sunny was for some reason, because it's Nissan. This is very easily removable Honda paint, which like turns different colors in the sun. That's why the car is all kinds of different colors with this Honda Milano red. But they're new paint, and that's a good thing in a way, I guess, because like, sure, they don't match 100%, but like all the panels don't match 100%, so as long as it's sort of okay looking on its panel by itself, it's fine. Is the other side panel, and yeah, it has this like rather nasty, I think a repaint or something, but it's very badly done. I think they might have put a sticker here probably, and this is like the remains of the sticker. But whatever it is, it's very nasty, and since we're repainting that part of the panel anyway, and this bottom part of the panel, we might as well just sand this down and just repaint the entire panel. So I'm going to just quickly do some sanding over here, and then I'm going to clean the panel up so that we can start taping it off. We've cleaned this up, and this part of course has been sanded down. It's been filled up or repainted, or some kind of primer things underneath. So I think that was the issue, and yeah, now you can see this is all very nice and shiny except for this prime part here. But we're gonna tape everything off like we did on the other side, and then we're gonna spray paint it. And over here I also removed the filler cap, well, not the cap, the little filler cover lid. And I also removed the cap for that matter, and the cap we filled up with this plastic and a little elastic band around the rim, so that it doesn't get filled with paint. These bolts will just paint, because who cares, the bolts will be a red color to go with the rest of the car, that's fine. And yeah, the interior, we didn't sand it up everything, because it doesn't really matter if the interior of your fuel filler area is very nice and red, as long as the exterior works nicely. And this I will be painting separately, since yeah, that's easier. And I think I'll just leave the inside. Maybe I'll put a little sticker over this and tape everything off, but I think just leaving it would be easier. Okay, so everything has been masked off, as you can see over here, and we're gonna do a quick paint part that is just going to be around this primed part and down there around that primed part. And then when that's dry, I'm going to start doing one layer of everything, and then probably 2 more layers, maybe just 2 layers total, but we'll see. However many layers until it looks like decent. And after that we're going to do clear coats. However, we're going to do more clear coats than we did on the other side, and I hope that then we can do some more aggressive sanding and polishing, and we can get it a lot smoother, because you can see here that there's still some texture in it. And basically, if we sand it much more, like we did at some spots, it will start peeling off, and that's not good. So we're just going to put more clear coats, like I did 2 on this one, and I think on that side I will do like 3 or 4. Just good thick clear coat so that it becomes all nice and shiny, a lot more like this. You can see that there's definitely like a separate layer that is the clear coat on this, while here it is just the kind of red paint. Anyway, let's give it a try. So here it is. This is the new layer, this is the old. I mean, it's actually blended surprisingly well without me even doing anything, so that's pretty cool. Because see, this is all new paint, and this is all old paint up here, and just because of where the reflection is, it doesn't really seem like there's any difference. But trust me, these are okay. I don't know. It seems to. I think it's because there's sun in front of it. I'm gonna try and stand. It seems pretty fine already. However, we want to clean up bits like this panel and just other small parts and loads of chips all around. So we are going to give it a quick spray all over now. So like you probably saw earlier, we first did this part down here because it's a slightly different color, and then we could kind of blend it before we started doing the big coats. Because the big coats have to be in light layers, because that way they look better. Yeah, I mean, there's no fancy other reason for that. Okay, you can't see it, but I swear it's here. Like, there's a dark spot. Okay, anyway, there's a dark spot. It's not this, like, orangey spot, that's the light moving around. But there's a dark spot here. And, basically, that was where they tried to repaint it one time. It was that ugly mark that we sanded down. We should have included that in the first paint, because then we could have done a couple thick coats like that. And that way this would be properly covered. Now we have to do a third coat. I probably would have done a third coat anyway, but it would have been nice if the third coat was just purely for aesthetic reasons. This is turning out quite nice and red though, so that's cool. And yeah, for the rest, everything it's looking very good. Just that it's a bit iffy. Yeah, so here we have the panel. You can see it's very shiny. That's why this is white. It's not actually painted white. Anyway, the black part is gone. Even IRL, I don't really see it anymore. I think nah, I don't see anything. Yeah, of course you guys don't see anything because you're all like, oh, fake news, there's no black. But trust me, it was there in real life. It did exist. Now we're going to do a quick clear coat, and then another clear coat, and then another clear coat, and then we're going to do all the sanding and stuff. But the sanding will probably have to wait till tomorrow. It looks like I've been bleeding. Here we can see it's now done. It has 4 coats of clear coat and 3 coats of red. And down here it has 4 coats of red, because this is where it was primed, so good coverage here. And it's looking pretty good. However, it needs to be sanded because you can see that it kind of has this like texture here. I'm pretty sure you can see it. And yeah, it just needs to be sanded because it's not completely as smooth as, for example, like one of the, like this door panel. See how much smoother that is. So it needs like a good sanding, and then it will be done. But first I will have to remove all this tape. If you look here, you can see that this is definitely a lot rougher than this. See how this is a different shine than this part here, because this one still has a texture. And that's also sort of still true on this side, but you can see that it's already a lot less here. This is already a lot smoother. Oh, everything is now covered in red dust. But yeah, so we just gotta clean this up. You can see how much pinker the old paint is compared to what it should be. It should be this bright red. But hey, it is what it is. We'll just sand up this, and hopefully then it will look all nice and snazzy. And is this, yeah, you can definitely see the line here but there's going to be a new panel that covers this, so it's fine. And here, you can definitely see the line here as well, which is slightly more annoying, but I mean it's inside the door, and when you're looking at it from the side, you actually don't see it because the shadow is there. So that's pretty cool. It actually worked out alright. I have a feeling this needs to be polished up because it's not quite as smooth. You see that it's kind of foggy. It's not as shiny as it used to be, and I think it's because of all those clear coats. But then the idea is when you polish up the clear coat, it will then be super shiny. Because now you see that this is kind of foggy shine. While if we go to this side, I feel like this is more of a clear lined shine. I don't know, we'll see. Over it with 3000 grit here, and it is quite smooth. However, it's not quite as smooth as I would like it. You can still see grains in here. You can even see this on the camera. So I have soaked here some good old 2000 grit, and we're going to go over it with this, just a very little bit. And then I've soaked a new 3000 grit because this one has quite a lot of clear coat trapped in it. And then we're going to go one more time with the 3000 grit, and then we're going to just give it a polish, and then it should hopefully be super smooth. It's already quite smooth, but it could be smoother. You can see, you can definitely hear the difference between this 2000 grit, which sounds like this, and 3000 grit, which sounds like this. So yeah, we're now on to the 3000, and I'm going to use both hands so I can angle it a little bit there. But it's already being a lot smoother after that 3000. I think that was just like a rough top. Look, it's stuck. Like a rough top that needed to be removed, like a top layer that was real bubbly. And then this is just to smooth out the small remaining scratches from the 2000 over there. So we'll see how it is after I finish this one. This side is actually really quite smooth. So what I'm actually going to do is also do that side a little bit more. It doesn't have quite as much clear coat, so I can't sand it quite as roughly. But what I'm going to do is just a couple spots, well, just everything with the 3000 one more time. So because it's already quite smooth. You can see here, this is all very smooth, but you can see here it's still the foggy kind of not so smooth because this was hollow, and like, yeah, I was using a lot rougher sandpaper. I was using 1200 instead of 3000. So now we have 3000, and a giant tractor rumbles by. And I'm also going to just quickly do a quick wet sand over this side. Then I'm going to polish both, then I'm going to wax both, and we shall see how it looks. And then we'll put the wheels on and drive it out the back here so that we can see how it actually looks in the sunlight. Because I think that would be useful information. Then we'll drive it back in because it doesn't have a bumper or anything. So we'll see how it is. This side is now a lot smoother here. But I have a feeling like they get smoother when they dry out. Because that side is definitely smoother now after I've been sanding this side. I think it's because like the water kind of sucks your fingers. It creates a small vacuum, like aquaplaning sort of, I don't know. Some kind of physics shit. Anyway, on this side, this is very smooth now, at least here on the top. Here on the side, it is not super smooth, but like I said, there's still water here. And this part is dry at the top. So I think that has something to do with it. Again, same here. This is very dry. This is also very dry, and it's also, but then down here it's not as dry and it feels less smooth. But I don't know if that's only the water. Of course, it will be even smoother after we polish it and wax it. However, I don't know if I'm going to do that yet, because I also have these Ultimate. I originally bought this to fix up the faded paint, like here, and I got started on that, and then I decided to paint everything first. So I recorded most of that video. That video will be coming out after this video though, because I am going to give it one more polish and shine before we finish it up. but for that it needs to be outside so I can wash the entire car, and then I can polish the entire car, and then I can wax the entire car, and then it should be done. This car would then be completely done, apart from we have to set the lights. They're kind of pointing in straight directions, and some other small things. Here and here there were some nasty scratches in the paint from when I tried sanding it, and I kind of sanded it too much. Because yeah, don't sand the edges, because that's not really a big brain move. Because the sandpaper kind of catches on the edge, it scrapes off the paint more than it would scrape it off on this flat part. This is real smooth now that it's dry, though. It is really, really, really goddamn smooth. Anyway, so I just used some paint corrector marker, and it doesn't look great now, but I think when we polish it up, it would be pretty okay. I also had some small gaps over here, like here you can see this one, and somewhere else as well over here. There was another spot. I think it's here, yeah. Sort of see there. That's a bit more shiny. I think that when it dries up, it will be better as well. Anyway, we're gonna put some wheels on it when this is dry, and then we're gonna drive it out. In the meantime, though, I have also painted this. This is a nice little cover that's gonna go over there, and I'm gonna give this a quick wet sand just before we do that. Go, panel is back on. Oh, keeping that fuel filler cap here. Okay, so down here where I use the paint thing, you basically still can see it slightly. You can actually see it better on camera. Oh. So yeah, and here you can see it, but from a distance, like, unless you know it's there, you're not going to see it. But if I come up close, you can see it slightly, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. Down here. Oh no, he's come back. He kept going in the way when I tried to lower the car. Very annoying. I know I did it somewhere over here as well. I think it's this here. See this? It's a slightly different color, like right above my nail. So yeah, but for the rest, it looks very nice here. I did it as well. A little bit above this. I didn't fill every hole, maybe I should have. But yeah, it's looking very nice. I'm quite happy with how that turned out. Even though I'm a bit less happy about that corner, but oh well. And then, see, this now works completely. And I also painted this a nice glossy black, because it was kind of a turquoise color, but there was some greenish shit on it as well, so I cleaned that up, and then I gave it a quick black paint, because I think that looks a little bit nicer with the red than the kind of greenish question marks. Why is there dust and stuff in here? I probably didn't clean it out too well. Anyway, just boom, beautiful. Now I'm going to put a bumper and the lights on, and then we're going to put it outside. And these panels are watertight for now, at least, so we're going to leave it as is. However, I have them here, and I am probably going to paint some of them red. I don't know if I have enough paint to paint these side panels, but at least the one that goes at the top. If we look at this here, that is definitely faded. Now at the bottom, it's pretty normal. It's sort of the color it should be, if you look here. But, well then shinier, because this hasn't been polished yet. And then at the top, it's really like a real pinkish color, which just, it's not even the same color as this red where it's next to, so it's very obvious. So what I'm probably going to do is just paint this panel, and then these panels, like you can already see, they're a lot better. They're not really that pinkish. They're just kind of a lighter red, but they're definitely not, or maybe they're sort of pinkish. On camera they look sort of pinkish, but I feel like they are less pinkish. And also I don't know if I have enough paint to do both. So we're going to start with this one. and then we'll see. They probably just need one coat of paint, maybe two, but and I have one can left, which is about enough for like an entire of these panels, so I would feel that it's probably enough for these combined, but we don't know. So we're gonna just start with the middle one, and then gonna do the two side ones later, because it doesn't really matter if I don't do both of the, because this one is more important. It's more nasty. As you can see, I am now painting the back panels as well, so that it looks all nice and spruced, because this panel was a bit discolored, and then I still had paint left, so I also painted those panels, and now I still have paint left, but I'm not really going to paint anything else with it. I'll just have some Milano red for if I ever want to paint a rather small Honda del Sol. Okay, park. Gonna try and start the Del Sol for the first time in like 6 months. Starts perfectly. So you can see Del Sol out in the Sol for the first time in like 6 months, and it dries perfectly fine. And this panel actually looks better out here in the sunlight. I think it was because our window was dirty that it looked kind of iffy. That panel, I don't know, looks about the same. And it's for all in all, it's a bit dusty, which needs to be cleaned up, but for the rest it's pretty nice. And yeah, smiley faces all round.